Hi, I'm Ms. Rebekah from the Flint Institute of Arts. Welcome to Artful Stories. Today, we will be creating an artwork using lines. Let's get started.
Let's get our supplies ready to paint. You will need a piece of paper, scissors, string or yarn, something to stir with, a paper towel, and several colors of paint. You may also find it helpful to have a tray or paper to keep your area clean. If you don't have paint to use for this project, you can make your own using old dried out markers or food coloring and water. Start by adding some water to a container. Then you can add some food coloring to the water. Stir the coloring around in the water, and you can dab a little bit on a paper towel to see how bright the color is. If you would like the color to be brighter, you can add more food coloring to the water. If you don't have food coloring or you have some old dried out markers, you can place a dried out marker in a container of water overnight. The coloring in the marker will color the water. Let's prepare our supplies. The first thing we will need to do is fold our paper in half like this. Then we will need to cut some string or yarn to the length that we need. I like to use about 1.5 feet. Cut as many strings as you would like. Now it is time to paint. The first thing we can do is place one of our pieces of yarn into the paint. Then stir it around to make sure the paint is covering that string. You will use your fingers to pinch off the excess paint. And then place your string onto 1/2 of your paper. You can use your paper towel to clean off your fingers and your stirring stick in between colors. I'm going to continue adding strings to my paper. I will be using the same process and making sure to wipe off my fingers and my stirring stick in between colors. As soon as you have placed all of your strings on 1/2 of your folded paper, you can refold the paper and press all over the back side of that folded paper. Make sure you press along each piece of string or yarn. When you're done, you can reopen the paper and see the print you have made. Your painting should be the same on both sides now. You can remove the strings and look at your artwork. At this point, you can decide if you would like to add more lines to your painting or if it is finished. I think I will add some more lines to my painting. You will follow a similar process to use string or yarn to paint with these liquid watercolors. Place your string or yarn in the liquid watercolor. Stir to make sure the paint is covering your string or yarn. When your string or yarn is saturated with liquid watercolor, you can remove it from the container and place it on your paper. Remove the string carefully, squeezing off the excess liquid watercolor, and then place the string on your paper. The liquid watercolor will create a line on your paper, just like other paints. As soon as all of your strings have been placed, you can refold your paper and rub your hands across the paper. This will transfer the color from one side of the paper to the other. Then remove your strings and admire the artwork you have created.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun creating your own artwork with lines. Enjoy your spring break.